Good afternoon, brothers and sisters in Christ. Welcome to another Reading through the Bible series with Law of Christ Ministries. This is part 195 of our daily scripture reading, continuing in the book of 2 Samuel. We're going to be picking up in chapter 18. And David inspected the people who were with him and set over them officers of thousands and officers of hundreds. And David sent out the people, 1/3 by the hand of Joab and 1/3 by the hand of Abijah, son of Sariah, brother of Joab, and 1/3 by the hand of the Gethethite. And David said to the people, going out, I will go out, and indeed I with you. And they said, you shall not go out, for if in flight we should flee, they will not set heart upon us, and if we should die, even half of us, they will not set heart upon us. And if you are, as we are, 10,000, and now it is good that you will be a help for us in the city to help. And the king said to them, whatever pleases in your sight I will do. And the king stood by, close by the gate, and all the people were going out in hundreds and in thousands. And the king commanded Joab and Abijah and Ephah, saying, spare for my sake the lad Absalom. And all the people heard when the king commanded all the commanders concerning Absalom. And all the people went out into the forest opposite of Israel, and the battle took place in the forest of Ephraim. And the people of Israel fell there before the servants of David, and the slaughter was great in that day, 20,000 men. And the battle took place there, and spread about over the face of all the country. And the forest exceeded in devouring of the people more than those whom the dagger devoured among the people in that day. And Absalom met face to face in front of the servants of David. And Absalom was mounted on his mule, and the mule entered under the thick branches of the great oak, and his head was hung. And in the oak he was hung, between heaven and between earth, and the mule under him passed on. And one man saw and told Joab, and said, behold, I have seen Absalom hanging in the oak. And Joab said to the man who told, and behold, you have seen. Why is it that you did not strike him to the ground? And I would have given you 10 pieces of silver and 1 belt. But the man said to Joab, even I am, should I weigh on my hands 1,000 shekels of silver, I would never lay my hand upon the son of the king. For in our ears the king commanded you and Abijah and Ephah, saying, protect for my sake the lad Absalom, and do no wrong to his life, and no word from the king will escape notice. Even you shall stand opposed. And Joab said, I will begin this. I will not wait thus in your sight. And Joab took 3 spears in his hand and planted them in the heart of Absalom, while he was still alive, in the heart of the oak. And 10 lads bearing the weapons of Joab surrounded and struck Absalom and put him to death. And Joab trumpeted with a horn, and the people turned back in order to pursue after Israel, for Joab was sparing the people. And he took Absalom and threw him into a great chasm in the forest, into the great pit, and set up a steel over him, a very great heap of stones. And all Israel fled, a man to his covert. And Absalom was still alive. Oh, wow. And Absalom, while still alive, also set up for himself the steel by which he was taken, and set it up as a steel to take, the steel that is in the valley of the king. For he said, he has no son for the sakes of remembering his name. And he called the steel hand of Absalom until this day. And Achimaas, son of Saduk, said, do not let me run, and I will carry good tidings to the king, that the Lord has vindicated him from the hand of his enemies. And Joab said to him, You are not a man of good tidings in this day, and you shall carry good tidings in another day, but in this day you shall not carry good tidings, because the son of the king has died. And Joab said to Houzi, proceed, tell the king what you saw. And Houzi did obeisance to Joab and went out. And Achimaas, son of Saduk, continued further and said to Joab, and let it be that I may run, and indeed I after Houzi. And Joab said, why is it that you run, my son? Come on, by going you have no good tidings for gain, sorry. And he said, so what if I will run? And Joab said to him, run. And Achimaas ran the way of the Kikar and went beyond Houzi. And David was sitting between the two gates, and the lookout went on the roof of the gate in the wall and lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, a man running alone before him. And the lookout shouted and told the king, and the king said, if he is alone, there are good tidings in his mouth. And he kept going and going, drawing near. And the lookout saw another man running, and the lookout shouted to the gate and said, behold, another man running alone. And the king said, and indeed he is bringing good tidings. And the lookout said, I see the running of the first one as the running of Achimaas, son of Saduk. And the king said, he is a good man, and indeed he will come for the purpose of beneficial good tidings. And Achimaas shouted and said to the king, peace. And he did obeisance to the king, and his face on the ground. Blessed be the Lord your God, who shut up the men who hate their hand against my lord the king. And the king said, is there peace for the lad Absalom? And Achimaas said, I saw the great multitude, so that Joab sent off the slave of the king, even your slave, but I knew not what was there. And the king said, turn aside, be set up as a steel here. And he turned aside and stood. And behold, Houzi came and said to the king, let my lord the king receive good tidings, for the Lord has vindicated you today from the hand of all who were stirred up against you. And the king said to Houzi, is there peace for the lad Absalom? And Houzi said, may the enemies of my lord the king and all who rose up against him for evil be like the lad. And the king was troubled and went up to the upper chamber of the gate and wept. And thus he said as he went, oh, my son Absalom, my son Absalom, who would give my death instead of you, I instead of you, Absalom, my son, my son. All right, guys, we're going to stop there for today. Lord willing, we'll be back tomorrow. Peace and blessings.